Good morning, StarFolk. This is Old Man GM, Big Daddy Dave, and today we're going to be talking about ship construction for the upcoming solo uh, RPG game, space exploration RPG called StarFolk. So remember, you create or you control three characters within the game. You control your avatar, which is the explorer. You control your AI companion, and you control your ship. When you're grown in a vat on a parent ship, which has thousands of other star folks always being continually bred and educated and then released into the universe, you're raised with your AI companion. Think of that as like your sibling. You both are created at the same time. You've had similar experiences. Your training is going to be based on what your natural uh, abilities are, and your AI is going to be trained as a way to supplement that, to kind of be the yin to your yang. And then your ship brain, which is kind of like a little robot until it's put inside your ship. It's like a little tiny round little thing that just bops around and does little simple things for you. But you love it, right? It's like your dog or your cat or your bird. It has limited emotions, whereas your AI companion has feelings, it understands who it is, it's conscious, it's a conscious being. It's basically biological and cybernetic, okay? And you're fully biological. Well, the brain on the ship and any drone you have or a tool that needs some form of intelligence is going to be kind of like that animal brain, right? So your ship, it cares for you, it loves you, it wants to protect you, but it can't do basic mathematics. It can't do anything more than go to this star system, come here. But now, if it's flying in, say, throughout space and you're doing something, if something comes up that's going to, potentially damage it, it's going to protect itself and it's going to protect its crew. Okay? So this is what your ship is. The first thing we're going to do is I'm gonna pop over to our sheet for the ship, and we're going to come up with a name. So I'm going to name mine Tracty. So that's going to be the name of my ship. So the next thing you're going to do after you name your ship, right? Some example names is here's your core systems, right? So every explorer begins with standard exploration vessel equipped with the essential systems needed for independent travel. So it's going to have a quantum biocore, right? Your ship will. It's going to have an AI interface. That's how your AI takes control of it and it communicates with your AI. It's going to have a faster than FTL, faster than life drive. It's going to have sublight engines. It's going to have a universal fabricator. It's going to have a sensor array. It's going to have a drone bay. You will have a research laboratory, medical bay, environmental systems, communications array, and resource storage. As your expedition progresses, nearly every system aboard your vessel can be upgraded, expanded, or replaced. So you can add additional components to your ship. Say you're starting off with a sensor array 2, you can update that to a 3 or a 4 or a 5. So every ship is going to have those. So you don't really need to document it. So step 3 is your ship specifications. So your ship specifications is how strong is your hull, what's your crew capacity, right? So the hull measures in structural health of your ship, right? Crew capacity, this includes you, your AI companion, your any of your drones, any robots you've made. If so every standard exploration vessel starts with one explorer, one AI companion, one server drone. If we come down here, we example explorer class It starts with a hull rating of 3, an FTL of 4, a sensor of 2, and fabrication rating of 3. So what was that again? Hull of 3. So we're going to put 3 in there. And it's going to have an FTL of 4. And it's going to have a sensor array of 2. And the fabrication will be 3. And I need the cargo capacity on this ship, and this will be different for every ship. So you have 3 when you're out exploring. You can gather biological material. You can gather just plain matter like dirt, whatever, and you can gather metal. So say you see an iron asteroid, you can send out one of your mining drones and gather metal. Well, your maximum that you're allowed on this ship, so each ship will be different, is 100 units. Now, those units, think of them kind of as currency, right? Whenever you don't go to a store in this game and buy stuff, you fabricate it. So whenever you go to make something, you have to spend resources in order to create it with the blue pen. So say you want to make a hammer. Well, a hammer might be 1 metal. So then you would spend 1 metal X number amount of time in the fabricator, you now have a hammer. It's not, and so current, what you start with is a half load. So they don't top you off, but they get you going on your way. So one of the things you will always be doing in the game is looking for resources. A scout drone is what you get, but a mining drone is probably going to be the first drone that you actually build. Okay? So step 4, here's your starting modules. No 2 ships remain identical for long. Choose 3 modules to represent the equipment installed above your vessel before your first mission. So that might be an advanced laboratory, a deep core scanner, expanded resource storage, hydroponics garden, drone fabrication bag, vehicle hammer, geological laboratory, xenobiology laboratory, long-range communications, atmospheric processing unit, artifact containment vault, observation dome, enhanced medical suite, shield generator, advanced survey scanner. Future discoveries will unlock many more modules. You can determine what some of these do. In the next set of rules, we'll have a lot more on these. But the rules are like 300 pages now. But I think, you're a role player. So one of the ways I implement these is, say I have a deep core scanner. Well, the deep core scanner lets me scan in the inside of a planet. Hydroponics garden means I don't have to use my biological to fabricate food. Vehicle hangar means I can take vehicles with me to planet. A drone fabrication bay may be a bay just for creating drones. That would be great for, say, a ship that you determine I want to go colonize planets, and so I'm going to go all these different planets, and I'm going to create a drone in each planet, and then I'm going to leave and let the drone do what it's going to do. Xenobiology laboratory, that would let you do more advanced. Say if you find an alien species on a planet, it would let you get more information about that. Long range communications, you really don't need for talking with StarFolk, but maybe you find a planet that is using radio and you want to be able to communicate with it. Atmospheric processing unit, maybe you want to, have the ability to change your atmosphere, or you want that unit that you could put on a planet in a little habitat. artifact containment vault. So you pick 3 of these, okay? And so I'm going to pick the hydroponics garden. I'm going to pick a geological laboratory. And the way I deal with that is when I'm rolling success, if I've got any geological matter and I'm rolling success on it, I'm rolling to see, okay, am I able to understand this or know what to do with this or to break it down? This would give me a plus basically in determining that, okay? So, and I'm going to do a shield generator. And the shield generator, again, you can handle it any way you want. To me, I would do it. It would increase my shield rating by 1. My hull rating by 1. Okay? And geological laboratory. And you can make up whatever you want. What do you want your ship to have? What do you think it'll be? Remember, this is a framework. There's a lot in this game telling you how to play it, but I'm just giving you a framework. This is think of this as like Minecraft of RPGs. I don't tell you what you got to do. You want to go and become a god on planets, go become a god on planets. If you want to create the Klingon warrior, well, then you just start killing things. Even though in the first release, we don't have combat within the system. There's lots of ways you can handle combat, and the second edition, the advanced rules, will have combat. But my hope is that it doesn't become a combat game. This is a space exploration game. But again, how you choose to do it's your game. There's no right way, there's no wrong way to play it. Then your ship quirks. So every ship has its own personality. So you roll once on the ship quirk table or choose one that inspires you. So there's a table in the appendix, right? And the engines produce a soft harmonic hum during FTL travel. One hallway is always a few degrees warmer than the rest of the ship. The observation dome never fogs, no matter the conditions. The fabricated announces every complete with a unique tone. Doors hesitate for a fraction of a second before opening. The environmental system carries the faint smell of pine forest. That's one I kind of like, because I think, if I'm out, and your ship developed this quirk because it was raised with you. And your ship can gain other quirks over time. Because again, your ship, while not a person, it's not a sentient being, it still has basic level emotions and feelings, And anyone who's had a pet, man, I've had all kinds of pets. I had a half lab, half wolf. I've had fish. I've had hamsters. I've had guinea pigs, and I've had dogs. I've had cats, and oh, a dragon. I forget the name of it, but I got it for my dog. We love that stupid thing. It was a potted plant that moved around. But my daughter would carry it around. We cared for it. We loved getting it crickets because we cared for that. And it didn't mind being picked up because it had been hand tamed. So that was its quirk, right? If you grab one of those things in a wild, it ain't going to stay with you. But you could put Tilly right on your shoulder. She'd stay with you. You could hand feed her lettuce or kale. So even though she didn't have the emotion of, say, a dog, she still didn't mind us. Okay, there we go. And step 6, your starting resources. So instead, everything is built from resources gathered. And we've already done that. The metal units, they're used for hull repairs, tools, drone frames, machinery, structural upgrades. Your biological units are organic compounds refined from living organisms used for medical supplies, quantum biocores, AI systems, sensor systems, tissue engineering, organic components. and universal fabrication feedstock produced by recycling almost any remaining material. Stone, sand, ice, atmospheric gases, broken equipment. It's just matter. And matter units are used for carbon fiber, advanced polymers, ceramics, composite materials, general fabrication, FTL fuel. Nothing aboard an explorer ship is wasted. Nearly every object can eventually become part of something new. And this gives you just a couple examples. So a survey drone, it's one metal unit, two biological units, 8 matter units. And as long as you have that and you have a blueprint, which every ship starts with certain blueprints, one of them is the survey drone, in a certain amount of time, it'll generate that. If you need a hull replacement, right, it's 7 metal, 1 biological, 3 matter. If you're going to build an advanced sensor array, it's 4 metal, 3 biological, 9 matter. A medical drone is 1 metal, 6 biological, 6 matter units. So those are just examples. There's going to be, on the website, we're going to be posting all kinds of recipes. Create your own. It shouldn't be uber, costly. Depends on what you're making, right? If you're making a hammer, if I'm making a hot dog, say I want something to eat, well, then that would be like 1 biological, or maybe 1 biological, 1 matter. If I'm making a small handheld computer, well, that would be 1 biological, 1 metal, and 2 matter, So as long as you stay, within these guidelines. And in the end of the appendix, there's going to be a whole list of basic things. So it'll be like basic tools, basic clothing, basic habitat, specific drones. So that way And if you don't have a blueprint, you can always get the blueprint from University. So you determine, I want to make this. Your computer can load it from University within a certain amount of time. If you find something on a planet, and you can then reverse engineer that object and create a blueprint, and then save that in University, and then your ship would have that blueprint. You don't have any limitations in how many blueprints and information and knowledge you can store. In the journal, I'd suggest, if you come up with, here's what my blueprint's going to be to make, say, a small rowboat. Write that in your journal. Have a section in your journal for just the blueprints you've come up with, and then share them with other people in the community. Okay? And remember, discoveries lead to innovation. Every new world contains unfamiliar materials, organisms, and phenomena. Some simply provide fabrication resources. Others unlock entirely new possibilities. Studying a resilient alien shell may lead to stronger hull plating. A colony of microscopic organisms could revolutionize biocore design. An unusual crystal might improve so you can determine, this is your story. You'll be, when you're researching, oh, here's this weird crystal, and I'll ask I said, does it glow? And the oracle might say yes or no. And I'll say, well, I'm going to check it for radiation. Does it have radiation? Yes or no? And then as you play with it and start to understand, you might then say, I want to do experiments to see what this would do to my long range scanners. And you can use your oracle system and experiment and find out, oh, it makes it better. So if it makes it better when you've discovered that, then you would adjust, your long range scanners. That may be, if you're a level 3, you now have the capabilities of a level 4, even though you're still at a level 3. So this is your game. Have fun with it.